So we've had rain all night, and then we had yesterday. I was coming to check. See, that rock's covered up more right there, so it's still low, but it got some rain in there. Okay, so last time I talked to you guys, I had locked all the chickens up for 3 days, and then I let them out that day. Well, yeah, they got another chicken. Now I can only find 2 guineas, and there's these 2 hens out that I can never get, but I've had them locked up again, and my only concern is Sergeant Carter keeps the new chickens in here from getting down to eat or drink, so I feel like they're not getting enough to eat. All these hens and that rooster, she won't let them down without attacking them. It's really loud in there. So I had this gray hen and this black hen, and they just keep running around. I'm at a dilemma here. I'm trying to decide, do I let them out or just leave them locked up for a week? And I can't catch these 2. Those 2 hens. And where did all my other guineas go? I feel like if something got the guineas, it would be an owl. But then the chickens, since they're lower in the trees, would be probably a bobcat. But I am surprised they're still with us, the hens. Surely I've got more guineas somewhere. I'm like losing birds left and right. My afterthoughts were all of the wildlife were coming up here to get water, because we've been in a drought for so long, and we had the pond. And when I saw the bobcat, he was walking in the back from the pond. The deer are always at the pond. I don't know what to do. Surely they get down and get a drink and eat something. Surely Sergeant Carter lets them do that. Let's just give them some food for a bit. Alright. I've been watching their behavior, and it's not only Sergeant Carter. Y'all can hear me with her honking. It's not only Sergeant Carter keeping them from eating, it's the other hens from this coop. So of course you know they got the pecking order to go through, but they seem to be getting some food. Gosh. It's too small in there for all of them. You're supposed to have 4 square foot for every 1 chicken when they're locked up. Obviously that's not enough space, but I don't have anywhere else to put them, and I just keep losing them, and it's frustrating. I'm gonna try to fix the pig pen now. Since it is, we've got all the leaves. I don't know about this pig fencing. If you have a bunch of extra of these, like these here I bought, to hold it up, otherwise it just folds. Oh wow, see, the leaves are all on it here. Get the leaves off. Of course they're just gonna blow back probably, but the fence hadn't been working good because of the drought. Didn't get a good enough charge. Yeah. So I ordered another pig net to add to this one to make the pen a little bigger. Actually, it'll be the same because this pen uses some hog panels connected to it, but we can move them around more now. So I got another pig fence. I might do that today, actually. Just keep moving it back through the woods, make it more open, and then maybe the predators won't be around as much. So on these pig fencings, the bottom wire, the black, it's not electrified. It starts here. And these aren't electrified. It's the black and white strands that are. And I'm clearly gonna have to order some more of these posts to even keep it up. That's just for your future reference if you want some pig netting. This is the, what was this one? I'll have to go find which fence this is. And it's for domestic or feral. It's supposed to keep them all out, and the piglets. So if I had piglets, the small one, this is small enough that, ow, that they can't get out, and it's hot now. I wasn't even thinking. Yeah, I turned it on. It's hot. It's working good now. So the netting is 10, 24, 12, the feral hog netting. He's ready to go for a walk. If you're interested, if you're looking at the netting. Because I like that one because they'll keep the piglets in too. But maybe it's because it's heavier, they curved. I didn't think of that. It has more strands. So maybe the other kinds don't do that. And if you don't need to leave piglets in, then I guess it wouldn't matter. But so before the freeze, we picked all of our tomatoes, the green and the red. And we ordered this tomato, I'll even show you, electric sauce making machine. So it's supposed to, you run the tomatoes through and it separates the peeling and the seeds, and then just the meat of the tomato comes out. But when it arrived, it was covered in oil. So I cleaned it up, but now it's empty of oil and customer service stinks. So we don't know what kind of oil to put in it, or if we should just send it back or what, because we're not getting any help from the company. So since we've been waiting for this, our tomatoes have been rotting. Sadly, a lot of them have. So I'm going to go through all the tomatoes, take out the bad ones, and then I'm going to freeze them until we're ready to process them. Bad tomatillas too. So I have a lot to go through. This whole bucket, this bucket, this bucket. This is the compost, all the bad ones going out. This bucket, this bag. So I am separating them. We've got green, almost red, and red. These I want to stick in a bag to turn red. Got the Roma tomatoes. This one I'm hoping I can cut off and still use the other half. And then I've got all of the tomatillas. But I have a long ways to go. Okay, since I've been running out of room, I'm going to start getting them ready to freeze. So I'm just going to rinse them off, and I'm going to take all the stems off. Okay, now that I've got all these Roma tomatoes rinsed and I took the stems off, I'm going to cut the ends off. I'm going to cut off any bad spots, like this one, a couple bad spots, the end of this, and then I'm just going to put them in a bag and freeze them. So when I bag these up, I'm going to leave the stems on until they turn red. And then hopefully by that time we'll have this whole grinder thing figured out so we can go ahead and process and can our tomatoes. I have 1 gallon bag of tomatillas in the freezer and 2 bags of tomatoes. And I still have all these. I have this bucket to go through, and this bucket, and I'm nearly done with that one. And then all the tomatoes in the fridge. I am slowly getting there, slowly. Okay, we got oil in this, and we're finally gonna try it. Oops.
Getting a good shot.
Look at our kitchen, everybody. It's a mess. It's a disaster. We've got all these tomatoes and all of our canned goods, and supper was in the process and people are still eating. We made homemade chips, homemade salsa, and then we got all these tomatoes over here. Okay, let's hope this works. It's working. So then the seeds and the skin are supposed to come out here.
Coming out? Slowly,
It's heating up. It's getting thicker. Got one jar full. It's a little runny still, but we're gonna go with it. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go with it. So what do you have in there? Just salt?
Salt and citric acid.
Salt and citric acid. And if we boiled it down a lot longer, it would probably get thicker, but we do have a mixture of tomatoes in this. Some are Roma tomatoes and some are, what are the other kind?
Arkansas Travelers and Mamie Browns.
So some are a little more liquidy than others. Last one. How long do these water bath for?
40 minutes.
40 minutes. Okay, our second night doing tomato sauce. Last night it was actually tomato juice, but this was to the top and we've been boiling it down for a few hours. So it's getting really thick. So we ended up with 6 jars of tomato juice. We have 7 jars of salsa and 5 jars of tomato sauce.